It is an absolutely gorgeous day, and I thought it might be kind of fun to do something a little different. So after I look after the sheep, I'm going to show you one thing with that. We're going to do some ear tagging. But other than that, I thought it might be kind of cool to do a farm tour. So we're going to look at some outbuildings. Chores-wise, it's a pretty easy day. I topped up their grains and their vitamins and minerals. I'm going to give them a bit of hay, then get to ear tagging. And that's pretty much all we have to do for today for chores. Should mention, I do have a guy coming at some point the next few days probably to shear the Jacobs, so I'll try and get that on video if I can. But I'm not sure when exactly that's happening. I do have somebody coming to buy the fleece, so the costs of shearing is covered, which is kind of cool. Never seen that happen in person before. I've seen lots of videos, but I'll try and get that on video for you because I think that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, after this, I just got to top up their hay. I'll do the ear tagging video. I did want to show, because like it is so nice out, and you're probably wondering why I'm still feeding hay. And that's because even though you can see the fresh grass is popping up, it's still pretty early. There isn't a whole lot of it, especially in those pastures. Whatever's in there is getting chewed down quite a bit. When it's supposed to rain later this week, so when it does that, the day before or so, I'm planning on going out here with some grass seed and filling up some bare spots and hopefully getting that looking a little greener for them. I still need to fence off this pen here. There's only just a bit. There's the gate over there and then along the chute, and it'll be ready for them. But I want to wait until the last of the lambs, which were born yesterday, to be a week old, and then I'll move them into here. And then another week they'll be in here. Hopefully everything will be nice and green by then. But that's why I'm still giving them some hay for now. Plus, I mean, we have it. We may as well use it. Don't want anyone going hungry. So there we go. Even the little munchkins are starting to eat hay, so that's exciting. Makes me feel good about wanting to take them off of grain. I know there's mixed opinions on grass-fed, and that's fine. I mean, if we all did things the same way, it wouldn't be very interesting now, would it? But my goal is to have everybody certified grass-fed. The ewes I won't be able to because they're over 2 years old, but next year's lambs, definitely plan to do that. There are a few people, I think, up this way in the north who are raising grass-fed animals. More so cattle than anything, but definitely can be done with sheep. You just got to be careful that the quality of hay and pasture that you have is high enough to support them. But yeah, that's my goal. Enjoy the last bit of grain that you guys are going to get, because you'll only have it while you're nursing and then you're done. No more grains. Here in the shed, we've got 2 little lambs and Shirky. This one looks like he's got a little bit of scours. Not terribly unusual with lambs, but something to keep an eye on anyway. Haven't seen this one yet, but we're gonna ear tag them. So he is a ram lamb, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to double check once I get him up. And that one would be the ewe lamb then. But I'll show you what I'm working with. Hi! This is the ear tagger. You kind of clip in the mouth. They just kind of sit in there, and then you clamp it shut over the ear. For ewe lambs, see, I've got these ear tags. I don't know if you can look up where my farm is based on the numbers. That's why I only flash them to you. But they come in a pack of a lot. I want to say there's 20 of them. But they're just, they clip around like that on the ear. There's a little sharp end and a little hole for them to attach into. And I have black ones and yellow ones. So I'm using one yellow one on ewe lambs and a black and a yellow one, so one on each ear for ram lambs, so I can tell apart the genders quickly. And yeah, let's get started on that. So let's clip in like that. And of course I forgot my iodine in the house, so I'm gonna have to go and run and grab that. But what you do is you spray that on the little sharp bit before you pierce it through their ear. And that's a permanent ID. The reason I am doing this is because it is legally required in my province of British Columbia, possibly in Canada in general, but legally required for them to have some form of permanent identification if they are to leave your farm, which these ones will someday do. I know it kind of sucks to do this on your second day being on this earth, but this is when you're easiest to catch and you're least likely to remember it. So that's why we're doing this. Yeah, so they're done. That one lamb definitely has a case of scours, so I'm going to be looking in my little sheep Bible to figure out what I can do to help him out with that. Poor little guy. I know it's fairly common with lambs, but still want him doing the best he possibly can be doing. But otherwise, these ones are looking good. Little ewe lamb was such a champ. I haven't picked her up yet because she just lays still, but she's very friendly, a little sweet little lamb. Really likes head scratches. Getting a little bit of comfort from Mom for getting her ear pierced. You're a good mom, Shirky. Farming is messy work. We're gonna go get changed and then we're gonna go for a walk. Now for the tour. Of course, you know the shop. This is our driveway out to the road and our house. And Appa, Kiba, and Hapo are fixed, normal fixtures. Don't really stay put very well though. So anyway, that was where we were keeping Guts in the mobile corral. We've got the orchard over there. I'll give you a closer look, but as we're walking, you'll see these piles kind of everywhere in our yard. That was from Guts, where he was staying all winter. We just dug it out from there so the grass could grow, spread it out, and we'll go over it on the ride-on lawnmower to spread out that manure. So it's all really good stuff for this grass, and we'll turn this lawn grass into pasture grass, hopefully. In here, we've got some silvopasture that hasn't been used in a while, as you can see, but it's one of the areas I'm hoping to convert into actual pasture for the sheep at some point. So, you can see there's a little dip in there where the creek runs through. I'll show you a bit closer in a few minutes, but over here you can see our orchard. We've got cherries and apples that grow in there, as well as a bunch of different kinds of berries. Throughout the winter we had a whole family of grouse that were living in here, and squirrels and whatnot. You see lots of wildlife come through here. I've seen white-tailed deer, mule deer, foxes, coyotes. Saw a bear once. So we get lots of wildlife out here. Definitely something we have to be aware of. Right now the robins are flying everywhere. That's what Hapo was chasing after. But yeah, we're going to show you the rest. So you walk up this way and I'll show you what's over there. Straight out from the living room of our house is this fire pit. As you can see, it does get used. Mostly just for getting rid of cardboard, because out where we live there is no recycling or garbage disposal. We have to bring it into town to a dumpster at Sam's work. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. So in the winter we use the cardboard to light fires to keep our house warm. In the summer we use it to light fires outside. This tree came down the first summer we were here, but a couple of months after we moved in, and took out power line to our house. We had the power out for 3 days. There was a lot of damage. It was crazy windstorm after a heat dome that nearly killed us. It was really hot. It was awful. But yeah, going without power for those 3 days was definitely a wake-up call for us city folk. Definitely a different world out here. But we learned how to be a bit more self-sufficient and have since gotten a backup generator that kicks in automatically, so we don't have to worry about things anymore. It's powered through our natural gas, which I know is not most environmentally friendly, but when the power goes out, our basement floods, so sorry, Earth. Again, there's our shop. This here is an old chicken coop. And it's not currently in use, obviously, and it's even still got the electric fencing wire around it. I feel like netting would probably be more effective, but oh well. This neat little tool here. I'll show you the inside. Needs a little TLC before any birds could go in here, but it is usable. A little bit of a cleanup job and some repairs, and we could have chickens. It's even got a light already set up, just needs to be plugged in. I don't know if it works. We could find out. And then there's that hole that can be covered up in little nesting boxes. May or may not have been used through the winter, who knows. Not by chickens, but something else. Yeah, it's one of the little outbuildings. So again, there's the house over there. This is the garage where we park the quad and where we store firewood and other various things. You can see it's quite a neat building with that old barn wood. A little bit dilapidated, but does the trick. Wouldn't want to live in it, obviously, but good for storage. This area here that's partly fenced, this is one of the areas I'd like to get fenced. I was going to put guts in here, but obviously that's not going to happen anymore. So when we hopefully get more rams, I'll have this area fenced off all the way over to the barn, down to the creek. There's a little fallen apart bridge over there, but you can get over it. But lots of good grass in here. This would be a nice spot for a couple of rams and maybe a wether or two. Keep them company. Needs a little bit of extra, so a couple of fence posts and some proper sheep fencing would do the trick. But yeah, this would be a nice spot. The only downside to this area is that the rams would be ewable to see the ewes from here. Not the end of the world, but could make them a bit grumpier. So definitely something to be aware of if they are in there. But regardless, I kind of treat rams as they are dangerous all the time, no matter how nice they've been in the past, and just never turn your back to them. Not worth the risk. They are capable of seriously hurting you. They are called rams for a reason. But yeah, here's that little bridge I was talking about. It's falling apart. You can get across it, but definitely not the safest structure. But yeah, here's the creek that runs all the way through our land. And this is the creek that gives our farm its name, Shepherd's Creek. There's more fencing over there. I haven't actually walked that one, so I don't really know what it looks like. But maybe someday we could put something in there too. We'll see. There's our barn. It looks really nice from the outside. The inside is not the greatest. Needs a lot of TLC. But I'll show you that anyway. Over there we've got a little shelter. It would probably be good for a tractor or something. And then that building looks really nice from this side, but pretty much the entire back of it has fallen out. You can see those trees leaning on it. But I'll show you that a little closer up in a minute. First, let's go inside the barn. So as you can see, there is a lot of debris and garbage in here. It would need a major cleanup before it'd be usable. I'm not even really sure where to start with that. I think they had hogs in here at some point. Not really sure what else they would have used it for. That does lead out to that paddock I showed you just a moment ago. But yeah, you can kind of see what it looks like. That's why I think it was hogs in here, how torn up it is. There was also an attached chicken coop. So from here, it's the inside part. Little light bulbs and stuff on the ground, broken glass and stuff. So really not usable. I'd really have to just dig up the floor. I'm not even going to attempt that right now. I've got enough on my plate, but maybe someday we'll get to that. Chair. And Keebs was just in the outer part of the chicken coop. So yeah, there's where it connected to that place we were just in. And here's the other side of it. Maybe they had rabbits or something. I'm not really sure. Looks like more of a chicken coop. So maybe that was just chicks. More nesting boxes. And out the back, there is a little hole right there that chickens could go in free range. And then a little door here you can see out the back. This is another area I thought would be nice to put some rams. I'll show you that part in a minute as well. But I want to show you the upstairs of the barn too. There's stairs on, or not stairs, there's a ladder on the outer part too, which you may have seen. But this is how you get up from the inside. So I'll climb that when the camera's off. Here's the upper deck of the barn. You can see there's radio. They had a little basketball hoop. They either shot at these windows or shot out of these windows. I'm not sure which, but there's little bullet holes. I'm always a little nervous coming up here. I don't really do heights, and the fact that I know it's not the best kept building always makes me a little nervous. But I'm going to come over here slowly. This comes open. So there's the ladder down. And the shop. The house is over there. Sheep are over there. Give you some idea. And now I'm going to climb down before I have a panic attack. And back down. So there's that little storage shed I was showing you. I'll show you this building now. Again, looks really nice from the outside. And probably this half of it isn't too bad. Yeah, this side's really not bad at all. Just a empty room. Bunch of old wood. Not really sure what we'll do with it. It's kind of, I guess, a storage space for now. We haven't done anything with it. Probably won't. Not anytime soon anyway. I'll show you the other side that's in significantly worse shape. I guess Sam's been using it for tire storage. It's a good spot for it, really. But yeah, it doesn't really have a back. I don't really know what they used it for before. If you have any ideas, I'd love to hear about it. So let me know in the comments what you think this was used for. There's a big wasp nest right there, probably from last year. Another one way up there. Note to self. Yeah, over here is our big pasture. So we don't actually use this ourselves, but we have cattle that stay here throughout the summer, 1 month on, 1 month off, roughly. They're not ours. They belong to a family up the road. Great people, amazing cattle. It's really cool because they have their babies here too, so that's kind of cool. But as you can see, it goes all the way down to the road. That's the road all the way up there to that tree line, across, and then behind those trees there, and over here where the pond is, and it kind of circles around here, comes down here, goes back, circles around there, past the lagoon to the road. So this is the big pasture. It does connect to the other side, which I will show you, but this is the big side. That's how the chickens would get out of the inside part of the chicken coop, and then the outside part. Here's the back from the outside. This was that other potential ram pasture. It does have a decent amount of posts already, so it would just be a matter of kind of cleaning it up and putting proper fencing around it. But I think it would work pretty good for rams. And there's already a shelter for them, so if they ever need to get out of the elements, they can get in there. And it backs right up almost all the way to the pond, which is kind of nice. It's getting water all the way out here would be a pain in the butt. There is an automatic watering system set up on the property, but it's not connected, and I wouldn't even know where to start getting that set up. Probably going to be expensive, so I haven't really looked into it too much. But this is Kiba's favorite spot on the property. I'll show you why in a sec. This is the big pond. This is where we water cattle. Oops. barbed wire everywhere. I was going to throw a stick in here, but I don't know how solid that is. Yeah. Hey, Keebs, did you go for a swim? There we go, that's fine. She is a good swimmer. When she was a puppy and we lived in town, we had these awful long winters. It's hard to take her out, but I found puppy swimming lessons. And we went into that, and there were labs and other dogs there. And Kiba won the most enthusiastic award. I'm not even joking on that. She puts labs to shame for her love of water. And she'll do those flying leaps into the water. Oh, did you fall in? You good, buddy? Yeah. Anyway, she is our strongest swimmer. I do have a life jacket for her. I'll have to probably get life jackets for these two as well at some point, but for now, they'll be fine. So yeah, again, there's the big pasture from a different angle. Keebs wants me to throw her stick again, so I'll have to step away from the water. But again, the big pasture from a different angle. And now I'm going to show you the other side. This part probably looks familiar, but there's that ram pen I was showing you in the barn over there. Here's our bridge across the creek, which again runs all the way from that far corner of the property down to the road over about there, crosses the road, under the road, and continues on to the properties over there. But as you can see, the dogs are fans. It is a hot day today, for here at least. It's supposed to get up to 23 degrees, which for early May is really hot for here. And I am not complaining, this is nice after the long winter we had. But anyway, the road's just over there. Here's our sheep pastures, they're all just having a snooze. Over here, this is again more smaller pastures. I want to take a look sometime this summer when the cattle are here and see what's not being used for them, because maybe I can turn some of these pastures into sheep pastures, give them a bit more room to rotate on. That's always good. This is another shed. I have been in here a few times. There's not really much to see. Just like a little storage shed. And that's it for outbuildings. But I'll still show you this other side a little bit so you can see what our whole property looks like. Every now and then you go walking out here and you find something that you have no idea how long it's been there. Like this stool or bench. No idea how long it's been here. Nice little bench though. Maybe one day we'll bring it inside. More pasture. That looks like a gate or something that's fallen down over there. I'll go take a look. Over there, I'll take you in there. But there's a wheelbarrow I tried to dig out earlier this spring when there was still a lot of snow on the ground, but it was frozen into the ground. I was going to make a video out of it, but my phone died. That probably would have been a pretty funny video, so I'm kind of disappointed about that. But yeah, you can see the neighbor's pasture over there. Get a bit closer so you can see the line. And again, the road along those trees. The other side. And let's see, this is, yep, definitely an old gate. I wonder how long this has been here. If you take a walk later in the season, you won't find stuff like this because the grass gets so tall. That's why this is me first discovering it. Yeah, I'll go up here a little ways. You can see some more pasture. This would be really great silvopasture. I don't know what the inside of it really looks like, but from here it looks like it would be really nice. Might take a lot to fence it, but again, one day in the future maybe we'll do that. This is another area. I'm really not sure if this one's in use, but this one I think would make a really great sheep pasture if it's at all possible to do so. And there's that wheelbarrow I was telling you about. But yeah, this one goes right up to the pond. So I'll show you another angle of the pond. Nice little spot. Some nice shelter from the elements for the animals. Be a nice spot. Again, it's got posts all the way. Be easy to fence. I think this one might be a bit excessive, Keebs. Someone made a tree fort at some point. Kind of cool. Wouldn't mind going and checking that out one of these days. Huge tire pile over there. Again, no idea how long these things have been here. Obviously since before we moved in a few years ago. But prior to that, no idea how long they've been there. Here we go. Here's the pond and the creek. Runs through there. And here's the big pond, the rest of it that you couldn't really see around the corner. There's something over there I've never really walked out to before. I don't know how well you can see that. But I think that's what feeds the automatic watering system. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, the cows have access to this and drink out of it through the summer. Freezes over in the winter. Maybe one day we'll get a kayak or something out on this. Be kind of fun. There's more pasture over there. You can see maybe the far fence line, the house over there. That far fence line is the property line. See if I can get us a bit closer to that. One of the many spots with fence down due to fallen trees. But on the bright side, that means we have plenty of firewood without having to cut down any living trees. Yeah, back into the open area. This is a spot where there aren't any cattle, at least they're not supposed to be. In that pasture and that pasture there are, but this is kind of just a little free walking area leading to the pasture. Last year, the cows were getting out over here, and I just kind of stuck a log in the fencing to keep them from getting out, and it worked. What are you guys doing crazy? So, you can see back to those far trees. Property continues past those. There's some cool spots here, actually. Pretty sure there's some coyote dens over there. But this is country life. Oh, looks like this whole gate came off. Let's look into that. Or they just opened it. I think they just opened it. Okay, it's fine. But yeah, this is the log I stuck in here because you could see this big hole, but it seemed to work to keep them in there. More pasture. You can see again the property line where the grass changes color over there. That's their land because they just tilled it. And this is ours, all over here. I like how someone at some point tried to plant these trees along here. They get chewed so badly through the summer. I'm amazed they're still alive. Yeah, there was some hedging or something. An attempt at hedging along here. Cattle have knocked down that little fence, but that's okay. Here's another sort of pond. It's actually a dugout. Keebs, of course, has gone swimming. You shake over there. Good girl. But yeah, it feeds from the pond over there. You can see the pipe going through. So this is used to water the cattle on this side where they can't reach the pond. They can get through over here as well to the creek and the pond. And I'll show you some more over there. There's a cool little, looks like a little camping spot or something. There's the big pond over there, crossing point right here. Second smaller pond, and the creek just continues through the trees all the way past there. So here, the creek is pretty low. can be a crossing point for most of the year, but there have been flash floods in here when it gets really rainy. So, not us, but the owner of the cattle has had to pull calves out of there to keep them from drowning. Something to be conscious of if you've got a farm with a creek. These things do happen. So the fence line goes all the way across the creek here. Continues on that side. A little butterfly. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess in here. We'll clean it up one of these days. Again, lots of firewood. But we're going to continue along to this back corner because there's a little camping spot or something back here. We've never used it, but it looks like somebody has. Something bigger has been through here. Could be a moose or an elk. Probably a moose, but we do have elk out this way. There's more of it over there. But this is perfect habitat for both of them. They do like this area. I see them here. More so the moose, but you do see the odd herd of elk come through this way. But yeah, this is our little piece of paradise. We do kind of whatever we want out here, which is really nice. There's our property line. Goes all the way down to the road, way down there. Here is another pond. Just on the other side. Get over there. Somebody's taken a... Can't really see it that well right now. Maybe it wasn't a proper camping spot. But regardless, this was... Looks like a spot that's been used for more than just cattle, or at least last year it did. Oh, you guys are gonna need a bath. Anyway, there's another crossing point here. This stuff on the other side, I know there's a fence right there, but those far trees, like over there, those are where the property line is, and it goes all the way down to the road. But I'll cross over anyway, so you can see it a bit closer. So here it is from the other side. This is what I thought of. There's like a little camping spot or something. Not sure if it was really used for that now that I'm looking at it a bit closer. First time I saw it, that was the first thing that came to my head, but thought this would be a perfect little fire pit. Obviously not, but from a distance that's what it looked like. But anyway, that's where the rest of it continues. Another way for the cows to come back and forth right through here. But again, property line to there, all the way down to the road, down to the corner, across to here, and then up. So this has been our farm tour. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.